This clip is brought to you by Mark Bell Slingshot. This gear is made for lifters by lifters. Enjoy this clip.
Anyway, let's run this clip, and we'll just check some of it. I don't think you guys even had an opportunity to check it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Okay, let me make sure I got the audio. There we go.
Hern guy, like, oh, I eat duck eggs, and I'm just like more jacked and shredded than most of the guys that are like fucking competing
The fucked up
professionally.
thing though is when he sells it too.
Yeah, it's so
It's
ridiculous.
like you need $1,800 per like box of duck eggs.
Like, here's the thing, dude. Like, you're fucking jacked in an amazing shape for a dude that's doing every steroid. Like, I don't get it with him because he's like a fucking great looking dude. He's tall. He's jacked. Does he have a 2-inch dick? Like, what is it? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? I don't get it, man.
he's aging like incredibly
Dude,
well.
give
Everything
me
too.
that fucking guy's genetics, man.
yeah.
Like, please, for the love of God. I mean, hats off. Much respect to him, aside from like his fucking lying about his juice use, which I think is like almost
Juice
comical
use.
at this point. But the problem with it is, like, here's the thing, man. I don't give a fuck what you do. The problem is, like, if you're Mike O'Hearn and you look like a fucking Greek god at like 50, whatever the fuck he is, like your grandpa age, and you're trying to tell people that you're natural, it just like fucks up the confidence of a lot of guys. This is fucking Mike O'Hearn.
It's an interesting commentary in so many different ways. Like at the end, he's like says, "Give me his genetics."
Yeah.
So then, which one is it? Is it the genetics? Is it the steroids? Or is it the combination? Like the guy's trying to conjure up as many things as he can on why he doesn't look anything like that.
Very good point. But also, like they both said, like he looks good and he's aging really well. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I've always been under the assumption that when you do a lot of steroids, like he said, every single steroid, it kind of ages you.
It's
You know, I've seen people where I'm like, fuck, dude, that guy's probably like my age or maybe a little bit older. And then I get to know the person and it's like, you're 24? Oh, fuck. Like, how long have you been running fucking trend for?
Dude.
You know, like, so in my experience, that has been the case. So it is funny how he was like, he's on every single steroid, but then, but he's aging well. So, yeah, I don't know. It was almost like they were talking shit and they kind of wanted to give him a couple compliments and then kind of went back to it.
Yeah, it's interesting because the duck eggs thing, we can't skip over that. The duck eggs is bullshit. We know this, right?
Does he still sell them? I don't
think he does. I don't think he does. You know what I think is like a lot of.
I wonder in what regard though it would be bullshit. Like, what was he? Did he promote that? Like, he specifically looks that way because he eats duck eggs, or
he promoted that? Like, I think the duck. Okay, we should look up, but I'm pretty sure the duck eggs were promoted as a testosterone enhancing supplement. But I want us to make sure so I don't misrepresent.
What about
anything.
like Doucette and what about Derek? I think they hustle testosterone and they talk about the impacts of that and how that works like a steroid. And,
yeah, duck eggs are $1,800. Like this is the thing.
Does testosterone work like steroids?
Some people think it does. I don't. I ain't
buying it.
Yeah, I don't think testosterone works.
And
like
then
that.
I think one of the companies found that like there wasn't testosterone in there. So.
But duck eggs again, no. Like, but this is the thing. Back in, I guess maybe years ago, a lot of companies when they started doing influencer marketing, I don't know what happened with Mike, but like some people get offered a lot of money to say this or I take this. And even in magazines back in the early days, these bodybuilders would be like, my whey protein made me huge. And now people are smarter and they understand how these things work. So maybe it was a mishap or I would say, you know, it's probably a mistake on his part because now that working and promoting those duck eggs has now become it's now synonymous with him perpetually for the rest of time. Everyone will think of duck eggs when they think of him. But at the end of, like, I still, even though that is a blemish, I still think what he's doing is super impressive. And I actually still believe he's natural because of how long he's been doing this and because of what he looked like when he was younger. Like, most people do not make things habitual like he has. And on the show, over everything we do, like there's a lot of products we use. We use a mattress to help us sleep better. We use barefoot shoes. There's a lot of products we use. But the biggest thing that allows us to continue progressing and continue making progress are the habits that we put in on a daily basis. The habits that Mike has put in on a daily basis, he has shown it. We have seen it. You can't deny it. Right. And others just haven't been able to do it like he has.
I've been on steroids for a long time. I don't look like him. You know, I just don't. And there could be many reasons why, but I think that he outworks me, when it comes to lifting. He loves lifting. We've trained with him. I think that's the other thing too. So like, I'm always going to defend him. I've been friends with him for a long time, and I've lifted with him many times, and I've seen like, he's like taught me a lot of stuff. We share a lot of stuff. So we're friends. So of course I'm going to, defend him in some ways. But again, as far as the steroid thing goes, I don't know. I don't really know whether he does them or doesn't do them. That's not really my main concern. My main concern is the fact that once somebody hears something negative about somebody, they throw everything else out. And I just don't think that's a good idea. Like you pointed out, the habits. Like there's a lot of great habits. There's a lot of great things. Can you still learn how to get bigger arms from Mike O'Hearn? Yeah, you can. And you don't need to take steroids if that's something that he does. It's just, I think we miss out on a lot, unfortunately.
Yeah. And, Dan's cool and all. And number one, I probably would assume that Dan doesn't work out as much as Mike does. Even though Dan's in great shape, he has said he takes certain things. But his focus is making money and fucking a lot of girls. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But he does not outwork Mike. He does not probably do the same amount of fitness as Mike has at all. Like, not even fucking close. So when he mentioned, like, you're putting this false whatever in so many people's minds, right? It's just like, dude. Dan. This dude's like, has millions of dollars, and he always has 10, 20 women hanging around him. When a young man sees that, is that something that most men are going to be able to achieve?
No.
Is it a good confidence booster for people?
Is it a good confidence booster for people? Unless you are a guy who is attractive and making potential millions, and you have some sort of way to be of benefit to all these different hot women, are guys going to be able to achieve that? No, but guys are consistently looking and liking Dan's shit and saying, that's so badass, I want that. But guys, most of y'all, 99.9% of the men watching his content will not be able to get anywhere close to that type of lifestyle. So this whole, you're putting weird things into the minds of young men, dog, you're doing the same shit in a potentially worse fucking way. It makes no sense.
Right.
And I think it's safe to say, like, that statistic about the 99.9% of the demographic can't be a millionaire and do all that shit. I would say it's the same statistic for looking like Mike O'Hearn at 53.
So Power Project family, I hope you enjoyed this clip. We are on Discord and Reddit. We're trying to talk to you guys and build a community down there. So the links are in the bio. But remember, like, comment, subscribe, share this out with people so you can share the wealth of health. As cheesy as that fucking sounds. Peace.